Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever applies to you. This is 35 Millimeter Life, and I'm your host, DJ, and my co-host, Michael.
What up?
And our super special guest, Michael.
Howdy.
This is going to be a confusing episode for the audio
Michael
listeners.
B. Michael.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to be Mikey.
Yeah, that's fine.
I say someone has to be the Mikey or Mike.
I'm the Mikey because everybody at work calls me Mikey.
That's perfect.
So I don't know if you go by any nicknames.
I am not a Mike or a Mikey by any means.
So you're a Michael.
Fair.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Definitively.
Yeah, I've never been a Michael. I've always been Mike
That's
or Mikey.
perfect.
So it works out well.
Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
Stupid ass.
So anyway, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. I think we've gone about 5 episodes now without a guest. We were just kind of catching up and doing everything for ourselves. So thanks for coming along. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
We're going to put your correct social media beneath
sorry,
your window.
Okay.
So I had Bryce's Instagram under another person's for like half an episode.
Okay.
I had it right
Patrick
for the first
does, yeah.
half, and then
Just throw whoever you want. I mean, honestly, like, you know, whoever can use the
who's your
exposure.
favorite actress, and then I'll put it right.
No, we'll find somebody who has an OnlyFans.
I mean, well,
There's every girl in the world.
Yeah, it's true. It'd be like, I thought his name was Michael. No, it's Michelle, and this is my OnlyFans link.
I mean, who's to say I don't have one?
That's
know?
true, right? Only feet,
Say I don't
only
have one.
hands.
Exactly.
Only lenses.
Only
What
lenses.
was it?
Well, I was to say, OnlyFans started as a non-porn site.
Yeah, we talked about
It was
this.
it was like a Patreon,
Yeah.
but then it turned sexual. Well, so did Patreon, to be fair. So
Isn't that what Fansly is too?
Fansly,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, and like I think I saw like someone with it, but it wasn't like anything, you know, sex work related. But it's like, oh, now it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's
It's like you
there's-
have to start one just to have the account, and then maybe you never know.
I'm not judging anybody for anything, but I do think it's funny that things start some way and then they evolve into something else, and then you forget about them completely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Renown, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
That's Wash on Med. All right.
Oh yeah,
I don't care what
If
anybody
you've
says.
grown
it's,
up
yeah.
here,
it's fucking Wash on
if
Med.
you've grown
Yeah.
up here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would say like, well, great opening topics. Absolutely. Off to a
This is how we do
big start.
things.
Off to a big and start. No pun intended. So let's
Maggie, I
go.
swear to God,
Let's go.
I will pet you. Okay. So
Speaking of banging starts, I had one of my coworkers at work. We were thinking of like if we were to ever shoot like tasteful nudes, what our company name would be, and especially for dudes, it'd be Shoot My Schlong.
shoot my schlong.
For tasteful
SM.
nudes?
SMN, SMS. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be very tasteful.
Mine would be testicles.
Testicles.
That would be the name of the
You
company.
gotta, I feel like you gotta go like one word for if you're going for like the luxury kind of like
See?
kind of you know tasteful market like slang, something like that.
Slang?
Like just whatever like sounds like whatever like the sound emulates like that feel, you know.
I'm trying to think of it now.
I have one, but I don't think I should say it.
We can bleep it if you want to.
No. It's extra work.
Okay, never mind.
It'd be Boca, but instead of cud, it'd be
Oh, nice.
Bocock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that could be like just like the
Bokaki.
random name of like a tile company in like you know, Denmark or something.
Yeah. We're screwed.
It could be anything.
Canceled for the.
Everybody has a name for everything nowadays. It's impossible. Yeah. Anyway, so Michael, not Mikey.
Howdy.
Michael, tell us a little about yourself. You're a photographer.
Yeah, I've been a photographer here in Reno for about 6 years or so. From like the
Nice.
first time I started like just taking portraits and all that. But yeah, I mainly focus on nowadays doing like couples and wedding work, as well as some like kind of editorial style portraiture. And outside of photography, I also do hand-drawn artwork as well as like kind of a side business. So like,
It's freaking dope.
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it kind of became like my two side businesses became my main one. Now I have another one as my side. So
How long would it take you to come up with a logo for us?
I don't do logos. I
My
haven't.
cousin has it done, Kay. I've been busy.
Well, he should do it instead of me because I've done logos before and it's like totally not my style. I think I have my water bottle behind me. Really,
You do. It's back there. Or Maggie took it.
Dude, if Maggie took that
Dude, that'd be
bottle, that's
hilarious.
the biggest bottle that,
That'd be hilarious.
so as you can see, like my designs are a little complicated.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, so you know, just whatever I think is cool.
I like it. I'm
But
very
yeah,
excited to see.
I've been in kind of in this area for about like I said 6 years, kind of mostly in my style. Last like I don't know 3 or so. But yeah, it's been a good time.
were you weren't born and raised here, right?
No, I was born in the Bay Area, or I was born in Orange County, lived in the Bay Area for 5 years, and then moved here when I was like 5. So I've basically been, you know,
Okay.
Where,
I'm from here. So
where in the Bay Area?
Fremont.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like kind of the Bay Area, but
I was born in Santa Rosa, but I lived in Sebastopol. I got family all through San Francisco, San Mateo, all that stuff. So
nice.
yeah,
Definitely a pretty area.
Okay, so big question:
Mm-hmm.
what camera system you shoot with?
I've been sticking with Sony the last like 5 years now.
Alpha, I like
Alpha.
it.
Yeah.
I was afraid he was going to say the N word, and I was going to be like, all right, well, if you guys made it this long, I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. And
Clarification, Nikon.
close everything down.
We gotta stop saying the N word.
Yeah, that's true.
We
That
just
is
gotta
probably
say
true.
Nikon. Okay.
I was like, okay, I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
All photographers know what we're saying,
Yes,
but the
that's true.
non-photographers, because we have a lot of those,
That is true.
we gotta not
So-
say the N word.
Here's the thing about like the photographer scene is like it's like feels like a bubble sometimes,
Mhm.
and it's just like throwing. Like I mean, that's a great joke, but it's like imagine like the average person's like, what the hell are they even like talking about right here? But yeah. Nikon,
It's
few and far
pretty German.
between,
Yeah.
honestly. And also Sony a little bit because as I started getting more into the wedding scene in the last like year or so,
Canon.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Canon.
Dominated,
It's
yeah.
mostly Canon, and like it's really funny because you'll find people, people be looking for second shooters, and they prefer like the same kind of camera setup for like their own reasons. But in my hot take, I don't think it matters that much, like honestly. And I would shoot with people who are like, oh, I want to stick with Canon, but I'll give you a chance on the Sony. And like every single time, like, oh, it's fine. So it's like really depends on like maybe, a certain kind of eye. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know a lot of Sony people. So when I ran into you guys, I'm like, oh, wow.
I think a
Sony.
majority of our guests have been Sony shooters.
Yeah, Bryce has been.
Patrick,
Sony.
Kyle.
Kyle is
Pete.
Sony. Pete is Sony. The only one that's different is Callie.
She's getting there.
She's getting there.
She's
We're
getting there.
converting her.
Carly
What does she shoot on?
Canon.
Canon.
Oh, yeah.
But and it's actually really funny with that. Aaron and I, and Kyle, a lot of people just kind of give her crap about shooting Sony. I think you even made jokes about it. And
Mhm.
like, something happened. She turned in her camera. There was something wrong with it. It's the R6. It was just like a normal thing. Not talking trash about Canon, but she turned the camera in to get fixed, and then she's like, "Hey, can I borrow one of your cameras?" And I was like, "Sure. Do you want to go into the deep end?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, I have 2 cameras. I'll give you one or the other. I use one for work, but I can tune the other one down." She's like, "What do you mean tune it down?" I was like, "I have the Sony A7R5. It's 61 megapixels, and it's like it's a whole ass camera, like a whole ass camera." And she's like, "You know what? Fuck it." And so she took it, and then she was messaging me during the shoot, and she's like, "It's so good." I was like, "I know. It's great. It's awesome." And then I was like, "So you want to buy one?" And she's like, "Shut up." And now every time I talk, I'm like, "Oh, you shooting Sony yet?" And she's like, "Shut up." So it's gonna happen. She
Eventually.
will convert.
Yeah.
It's gonna, yeah, for sure. What you were saying about cameras and stuff like that, like Nikon for me, like a lot of people that still do Nikon, because I always look at Nikon shooters as like fanboys and fangirls, kind of in a sense. It's not a bad thing. Like there's fangirls and fanboys for everything. I shot Canon forever. Sony finally took me over because it's just, to me, if for what I was doing specifically, it was a superior platform.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's superior to everybody else at all, not one bit. And I still like Canon, and I still like everything else, even Nikon. Z9's pretty dope, let's be honest.
Yep.
But I do know that a lot of people that get into Sony, they stop liking it because of the convoluted menu system that they have.
Which has happened after the S3.
Yes.
So anything 4 and above was like brutal.
Yeah.
And they put some colors on it and make it look pretty. Okay, cool, looks pretty, but it's still confusing as fuck. And I mean,
Yeah.
even a second ago, it took me forever to figure out how to switch to 8-bit. George, don't say a fucking word.
Like he listens to this.
You know what? I bet he does. He just pretends like, man, I don't have time for that. Yeah, okay.
I'll go talk to him in the store soon.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he wasn't there today. I took Rosa to the store to introduce because everybody was
nice.
like, "She's not real. You don't have a girlfriend."
Wow, good friends you have.
Yeah, geez.
I just met Rosa. Hi, Rosa.
But I just like proving them wrong, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've been shooting Sony. That's dope. What was your first one?
I had the A7 II.
Oh wow!
And I had that until about last September, and that was for way too
It's a
long.
workhorse.
Yeah.
And now you're doing the 4.
I'm on the 3, and
The
the 3's been like fantastic so
The
far.
3S, the 3R,
Just the 3.
3.
Yeah.
And that 3. Trying to remember. 3 didn't have a S-Log 3, right? In it.
For video?
Yeah, I think the 3 just had S-Log, but I don't think it was S-Log 3.
I can
I'm trying to
look.
remember. I think it was the 3R that did that. That switched over. Anyway,
It's all Greek to me.
it's
That's
Do
I
you
was-
do
I was-
any video? No.
Not really. I've been trying to like play around with it a little bit just because I get like video ideas. Because actually, what started my interest in photography generally was video when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
Because I really got into just like making my own little crappy short films when I
Yeah.
was like, in high school and all that stuff.
nice.
And then that like lends itself into photography because I remember shout out to Mr. Zorn at the Academy of Arts, Careers, and Technology, who was my teacher for like 5 years.
Nice.
But he was like, yeah, if you're getting into like video making, you have to learn photography and the fundamentals of that. And that's like where that started when I was like 13. But yeah, I still genuinely enjoy it. I really want to like play around with it more. I just like have not had the time. But what I do in terms of video is just like drone stuff.
Yeah.
Just like making like little things go on Instagram just because like for practice. I can never do it as like a job, but it's like a fun thing to like have a creative and, outlet on.
Are you jumping in the Reels game now that Instagram is like kind of moved over to Reels? Or do you just like, I'm going to keep with the photo train? And
I like Reels in like my own creative way, if that makes sense. Because I know a lot of people, you use it as like marketing. They use it as like, we have the trending audio. I'm going to like make this thing so it can go viral and get, leads or whatever, which I totally get. And I would honestly like to do more of. But if I'm going to make them, I just kind of make them because I think they're cool. If you go on my Instagram, there's like, I think a couple that I actually edited together. Like I don't do it in the Reels Maker. I just make it in Premiere. And it's just because like, oh, I think this thing's cool. If it gets like 20 likes, who cares?
Right.
But I do like, think it's like pretty... Well, I mean, let's face facts. Instagram's trying to be like TikTok, so that's like the reason why Reels even exists. But in terms of like a creative outlet for like for us photographers, I like dipping my toe into both.
Yeah, and I think to speak about your work just in general, he just tapped the mic. He tapped the mic with the mic, and there's too many mics in here for the first time in the world. Mic. I get that all the time and I hate it. I'm gonna use that as audio for a photo or something. I don't know.
Just use the audio from the original like Hump Day ad.
Yeah.
That's going back to my video teacher. He did that to me like every Wednesday. It was pretty endearing. He's a very like not very jokey guy. So we did that. I was like, oh, he's in a good mood today. So Also, that's my name, technically.
It was like a marching band thing. Mike. Everybody in the freaking marching band world. But as a photographer, if your work speaks for itself, which I think your work really does,
oh, thank you.
You wouldn't need to do the reels. I think that the photos, if they speak for themselves, they will outreach to the world. And I think you recently changed your marketing. You focused more on like a cinematic look to your photos. I think that was like the big transition, right?
Yeah, it's kind of just like I listened to what a lot of people were saying about my work, because what I wanted to do was kind of find a spot where I felt comfortable doing whatever.
Yeah.
Because like I was mentioning to you before we started, when I went full time, it was just kind of like we're just off to the races.
Yeah.
Because I had connections within the photography community and people told me to go full time. And I'll be completely honest, it's not like I was making good money before I went full time.
Right.
I was working full time as a sterile processing tech at St. Mary's for like 4 years.
Oh, and they're going through a dip right now, so that was a good time you went out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like I heard all about it from like my colleagues and all that stuff, but I did that all throughout COVID, everything else, and I knew that I just like wanted to just get out and like have the time to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So when I jumped into full time, I was just kind of like figuring it out as I went along.
Right.
And that was incredibly stressful. And in the process of that, you just kind of take on the work you can.
Right.
And you don't have a choice in like whether it's like, perfect or whatever. You just kind of have to show up and do it and give someone a good product. And you don't want to like be stuck in a box where you like have to have this kind of lighting condition or this kind of like scenery or whatever. You kind of want to have that,
versatility.
Versatility and freedom. Yeah. And it started by me just like kind of like just looking at a bunch of photographers' work. Maggie, what a sweetheart, that I really enjoyed, who like had like a very versatile portfolio, and just seeing like what worked for them and like how when they had an image of like just a normal wedding reception, it's like, well, what about this is like really resonating with me? And usually it's just like the freedom of like we can do this lighting condition and it's fine. We can do this kind of backlighting and it's fine. We can use like this amount of grain and it's fine. And that, giving myself that freedom made everything way less stressful, which made me enjoy the art more, made me more present in what I was doing, and just leaning into that has felt like amazing. And
it really shows in your work. Like if you've ever looked at Michael's Instagram account, it's very storytelling. It's very cinematic. There's a lot that you can see in just one photo. Like it really does tell a story in one photo. And that's the hardest thing about photography, I think, is I think we've talked about this before, is like telling the story within one shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we do have carousels in Instagram where we just share like as many as we can. But if you can tell a story within just one photo, you know you've done a good job.
Oh yeah, and I think it really comes down to like letting, and I really trying to like use too many buzzwords, but it's like really just like letting natural moments happen. Like say for example, even with your stuff, with like just like doing stuff with models, is like you can still have that happen.
Right.
Not everything has to be like do this pose, do this thing or whatever. Like, and honestly, those poses or not those poses, but those scenes resonate a lot more when you can tell that it's like happening naturally.
Yeah.
So especially for what I do in terms of like, couples and mostly just couples. I don't really do families anymore, but you really feel that like natural chemistry when it's just literally them doing that.
Right. And I think one example of that, if you go through Michael's Instagram, is there's the shots with Trevor and I think Liz.
Yeah, Liv. Yeah,
those shots were super awesome.
That's like my favorite set. And the thing is like it all comes out in the editing. And thankfully, I've like learned, how to obviously run my camera properly and all that jazz. But it's like the editing is where all that comes together, because I usually have like an example, like kind of inspiration in my mind, and then just sitting down with it and seeing what I can do makes it like come to life that way.
Yeah.
And I remember telling them, because like we just kind of like, that was like almost impromptu a little bit, because like me and Trevor did like we did a headshot swap, and he's like, oh, well, instead of like you doing headshots of me, can you do a photo shoot with me and my girlfriend? I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that.
That's cool.
And then we like, it was like, oh, do you want to come to San Francisco? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do that.
Right.
So we just like shot for like 3 hours in San Francisco, and it's like all I did was like they like just walked around the city. Ooh, I did a little Maggie's tail. My bad.
Why would you do that?
Wow, I'm such a great.
I think I heard this laugh.
I'm such a great guest. I was like hit like I felt like part of the tail. I'm sorry, baby. You're being really sweet. But we just walking around the city while they're taking pictures of each other, and it's just like, just like them basically on a date night. And and I sat down. What I was gonna say is like I had also the work piled up, and they gave me the space to actually craft that into something that like felt not rushed, felt very natural, and that's what like really brings those feelings out. Because you realize like photography is a very feely art.
Yeah,
it's a very intimate art. And that's something that I really honed in on in terms of like changing the way I approach things. Is like I wanted to feel like I loved what I did as much as like people would like love their photos.
Right.
So, like, and not like having that barrier, because I feel like sometimes it might be like kind of lame to talk about your art that way. But like in the last half a year or so, I just like started to feel like I don't really care. I feel like my heart is in this, and even if like not very many other people that I know are talking about their work this way, I would rather do that than not, because that's how I feel. And it's also like shows in the photos of themselves, because it's like, oh, sorry, I really talk my ass off.
No,
I don't know how to take a breath, honestly.
If only we had a platform where the whole point was talking, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Right.
No, it's the worst. I like was doing I had a therapist like a year ago, and I was doing like what is it, BetterHelp, where you just like are on the phone, and I got an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk the whole time, maybe, and they interjected like maybe like twice, and I'm like, and I'm just like, you got to stop me. But anyway, that's like kind of lens how you're describing my work, and yeah, just kind of like having that like the feeling of everything transition into the photos seamlessly has been like a huge point of mine, but also like finding comfort in and of myself to like kind of break the rules when it comes to photography.
And I think one of the breaking the rules, I think you posted this on your Instagram stories, like photographers take sharp photos only to add grain in the end.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's been the trend. I mean, it's not just a trend, because it needs to be tasteful.
Yeah.
Like you don't just add grain just to add grain, right? It's to be tasteful within your edit.
Yeah.
And I think that how you add grain into your photos, or lack thereof, or a lot thereof, really speaks true to how your work portrays to other people.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's so funny, because I never like put two and two together, because I'm very smart. But people would say like, you have that film style, so it has that nostalgic feel, and I'm like, oh yeah, because film's like kind of an old medium, and but that's what I try to emulate, because I do get the sense of like there is a difference between like a non-grainy shot and a grainy shot for like that sense of feeling. It's like I follow a ton of photographers who like I love that style of, and I like kind of emulate little bits and pieces of. And the ones that really hit me are like when like that like grainy vibe of it just adds like a warmth to it.
Yeah.
But it's not overbearing. Because sometimes it can be overbearing, and I really try to avoid that.
Nice.
I'm not burping on mic.
No, don't burp on me, please.
It's a pretty classless thing to do.
Yeah, don't burp on me. Who are your like biggest inspirations going to photography?
Ooh, that is a excellent question. I probably would have to like pull up my Instagram to find their actual names. But there's a couple that, well, one of them that like has been like an inspiration for quite a many amount of years has been his name's Jacob Tovar. He's a digital and film photographer out in like Bakersfield, California. He was like
Rosa. That's where Rosa lives.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And he really just like kind of bends the rules a lot and like doesn't really do anything like that traditional. And he's like just like making a killing like the last like, you know, at least like 5 years.
Yeah.
So that was like what kind of got me on the train of like kind of making things a little bit different and not being too afraid of that. Honestly, I'm trying to think of anyone off the top of my head. There's like a bunch of people I follow from across the country that like really have. Tess Gearhart. She's I think based in like Michigan.
Yeah.
But if you go to her page, it's like her photos are immaculate. They're very cinematic, very like, you know, storytelling-esque, like you said, but like I think they're like incredible. Like they're like one of the few photographers and like don't no one take this personally, but like where like everything they see, I'm like, damn, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So and her and I are like have become buds. Like she like blew up.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, she blew up in like 6 months. I think she going back to the Reels thing. She posted Reels every day.
Right.
And she went from like I think she had 2,000 followers like in like March or something.
Yeah.
And she was like 50K.
She's almost there. She's at 48.5.
Yeah. So and she's like super rad, and we like have a ton of cool conversations about this stuff. But those are a couple off the top of my head. But I follow like a bunch that I just like really think are rad people, and just like, you know, I try to like branch, you know, across the country.
That's super cool. Deej?
Yeah. Sorry, no, so
I'm just checking my emails.
No,
let this guy talk for like 40 minutes.
I was I do know that I do end up talking a lot during these episodes, and I'm trying to do better at that.
No.
But this specific thing, one of my friends from Hawaii had sent me a thing, and I was just looking up something so I could talk to you guys about it, so I have it right in front of me. So I'm good now. We're loaded. It took me a few minutes to find out exactly what it was, but it's super dope.
I kind of want to talk about the photo community in Reno and how small it is, because this is our like actual first time meeting and talking outside of Instagram.
Yeah,
we have met like at a bakery because we've shot with a person that previously worked there. Name's Tatum. She's now full time, not at the bakery, but doing other things.
Yeah.
So, and I think I reached out and I said, hey, I think I saw you at Paran. Was that you?
Yeah, because I don't think I knew what your face looked like, but I knew your name was Michael. And I was like, I think you guys had shot together before. So I was like, oh, is that like him? And then like turns out like, oh, yeah, that is him. All right, sweet.
Yeah. And then that kind of just transitioned to this. Like, that's how small the photo community is. And I also think you've shot with a lot of people that we mutually know. I guess not by like, I've never met Chava. I've never met Fernando. I've never met those fools.
The two giants of Reno.
Right. So I haven't met them, but I know of their work. And I think that the community is just like there. Like we kind of all know, hey, he's this shooter. Like he's good at quinces. He's got his family shoots. He's got grad photos.
Yeah.
You got Bryce, who's doing grad photos right now, very warm tones, and he has his very specific look. You're a cinematic. You got film qualities and a bunch of other things. So we kind of know the community as Reno, and it's that small.
What's funny is I did a family shoot the other day for an old high school friend of mine. Her husband and her 2 kids, and as we were leaving, right? Because I have a good friend of mine, Mari, her daughter Kira is getting into photography.
Right.
So I offer for her to come along on my shoots, and I show her stuff as we go. She helps me carry stuff and all that kind of stuff. I got a messed up back, so it's a good trade-off. So we're packing up the car, and I'm walking back around the front to go say goodbye to the clients. And as I'm walking by, I noticed somebody walking down the road out of the corner of mine. Now, when I was shooting, because I was shooting the Verdi fields, and while I was shooting there, I heard a bunch of other voices coming up and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, hey man, yo, hey." I was like, don't come over here, because we had the primo spot. Everybody else was shooting in the shade because you're stupid. No, they're not stupid, but I wanted that goal. So I'm walking back from the car, and this dude's walking by, and out of the corner of my eye, and I don't even have to look, I just know it's Bryce.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? And so he's walking, and I know, here's the funny thing, is I think he thought that I wouldn't remember him, because I saw, as I turned, he was looking at me, and he looked away as he was walking forward. And I was like, what's up, man? He's like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? Like, he had it loaded. You know what I mean? Like, and I knew he did. And I was like, what's up, man? He's like, oh, I just got done with, he did a shoot or whatever. And I didn't recognize him until he was like right there, though. And speaking of that too, Callie, because she loves to shoot in the Verdi fields too. And Verdi fields is actually like Rose's favorite place to go for walks and stuff. So she was posting this thing on one of the Facebook pages that we're all part of. And this guy, this pompous douchebag got on there. I think he's been shooting for a couple of years here. And he was like, oh, I remember shooting in Verdi. And she's like, what does that mean? And he's like, oh, you only shoot in Verdi if you're an amateur. And I was like, and she was like,
dog, nah.
And I don't know. Do you know Callie Pendergrast?
Yeah.
So she's not one to be like get angry about anything, but she was like, oh, okay, bitch, and like
went off.
Yeah, kind of like she didn't like yell at him or anything. But the thing is like you don't outgrow a beautiful location. A beautiful location is a beautiful location. I shot in Hawaii for years. Right. And just because I left, I'm not like, oh, Hawaii photographers are amateurs. That's not it at all. Like, if it's a good location, use it. And I can't stand people that bash other photographers. Yeah, I talk shit for sure. But it's just me talking shit. I don't ever mean any of it. I want everybody to succeed. But you can't like cut somebody down like that too. Because I promise you right now, and she told me his name and I looked him up, and her stuff is like 1,000 leagues above his.
I kind of want to know who this is. You don't have to say it, but
I will. I'll get the name for you. Yeah, because the thing is like
if you're gonna be like that straight up and being like rude like that, then like
exactly,
you're putting yourself on blast.
And I ironically, I do want to think. I think I have to. She's gonna tell me the name. I'll ask her, but I think his name was Michael. It wasn't. I know it wasn't. I know it was neither of you guys. But
time to go,
like,
guys.
I hope this guy knows what I'm talking about. I hope you listen to this, dude. Come on the podcast. Defend yourself. I think it would be very interesting. It's not going to be a fight. I just want to know. We'll have Callie sitting over there too. We'll all become friends.
I love Verdi Fields for anything.
Dude, it's so good. It's so easy, bro. Like
it's not like you're driving to Tahoe, like
right,
a 40-minute drive or an hour. It's like 20 minutes away from town.
Yep.
It's like a famous actor at this point.
Right. Yeah, and everybody goes there. Like you can recognize the Verdi Fields just from a couple pictures too. And I had one of my coworkers went and got some pictures taken by a girl. But the girl traded services with his wife because his wife is a professional masseuse. Traded services. It was not a fair trade because Rosa just got a massage from her today, and I got one from her last month. She's amazing. These pictures, not so much. And I'm not talking trash about the photographer. She is new. She's learning, and that's great. And she had the right idea. The angles were right. It was just the editing. She didn't have a flash. She was shooting it in the sun. It was all blown out. She didn't quite have the right angle for the grass, but it was close. But he was like, oh, telling me, and I didn't tell him, like, literally 3 days after I found out about that, I had a shoot in Verdi. So I was like, hey, man, check out these pictures. And I showed him. He's like, is that Verdi? I was like, maybe. He's like, so good. I was like, it's okay. But, like, in the background of all their pictures is that guardrail. You know, when you're facing west in that same field, there's like guardrail right there. And she didn't remove it.
Oh, so.
And it's like the easiest thing to remove, right? Like,
you say that, but it's like amateur photographers don't really know that.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. And like I said, she was learning.
Right. Because I think, so I shot in Tahoe Meadows again with another family.
Yeah.
Like, that's another famous actor for photographers.
Dude, it looks so good up there right now, too.
It snowed.
Yeah.
It
looks so good.
But if you're shooting up towards the hill where, like, the street is, you have to edit every freaking car out but the lighting is so good coming in that direction. So you're like, I have to shoot this way because that's where the lighting is. I guess I have to edit these cars out.
Do any of you guys use the Photoshop AI?
I haven't used it yet because I haven't got the upgrade.
That, for all of this, it's an extreme game changer because in the moment when you're, like, shooting, you know that, like, later
I can
on,
edit this out, right?
Yeah, and it's not going to take, like, 10,000 years.
Right.
So I've been doing that a lot more with, like, my weddings, for example. Even, like, little things. Like, I'll look at an image and just be like, okay, like, what is the thing here? And kind of what I try to imagine is if I was, like, scrolling through Instagram, not that I'm, like, that critical about everybody, but, like, I'll scroll through Instagram and, like, if I saw an image, like, what is the thing that's pointing that is jumping out to me that's, like, weird here? So I'll, like, look at an image and be like, okay, we can, like, get rid of, like, this, like, random bush. Or, like, this little, like, for example, today I was, like, editing photos of, like, groomsmen getting ready, and there was, like, a light switch on the wall that just, like, it just broke the vibe of, like, the entire building. So, like, we'll just get rid of that. So in terms of like you shooting at the Tahoe Meadows, like those cars just like
Right.
gone.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's just making sure that it looks pretty accurate to what you would see visually without a car.
Exactly.
Sometimes like you'll use it or you'll spot heal it because that's the old way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can you know that the dot's there and you can like you'll zoom out and you'll be like, it still looks kind of wrong.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. But the AI definitely like does like a much better job.
Yeah.
It's like incredible. Like there's times where it's like I am just like being lazy. Like I'm like circling this out. I'm gonna type in remove. It's probably gonna look bad. I'm like, oh wow, it doesn't. That's really shocking. I mean, like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of AI, but for this specifically, it's making my job easier. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Right. We talk a lot of shit about AI.
Yeah.
But there are benefits to it, especially if it's making our job that much easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're overusing it to like
It's almost like cheating.
modify everything, and it is almost like cheating, but who hasn't cheated on a test?
True. And on the AI too, like have you guys used the denoise AI on Lightroom?
Oh yeah.
hell
That like
Okay.
saves me so much. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry.
I was gonna say, like, you know, I remember I shot like 2 or 3 of my weddings that I shot like earlier this year.
Mhm.
It was like right before that feature came out, and every venue was just dark as shit, like the darkest place I'd ever shot at. And you just like you can't use flash the entire time. So, and this is like kind of back when I was a little bit more scared of using cranking up my ISO, but like I remember just sitting there, just like, oh my god, this is just gonna look like I have to make this look as best as I possibly can. And literally like before I had like this to be sent out, Denoise AI came out. And it just like made it look flawless. So it really saved like in those like instances
In those
for
critical
sure.
moments.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't trust it in the beginning. Because I remember when like the denoise setting came out for Lightroom a long time ago, back in like 2013, and I would play with it, but it softened the image a bit, right? And now you have the luminance slider, and if you slide the luminance up to like 15 or 20, it usually cuts out a lot of the bigger noise, especially the color noise.
Mhm.
So that's what I've been doing. Then denoise AI came out, and I was like, whatever, it can't be that good. And I'll be honest, like, because I have my own style and stuff, I'm always kind of afraid of interjecting too. Like even Lightroom changed the way that now it's literally called color grading for photography, for the photos too, not just like video stuff. So now this color grading, use the little eyedropper tool, click on what color, and you adjust that one color. It's really cool, but it messes up my entire workflow. So I have to relearn. Same with the denoise. I shot the championship football game out at a Hug. And I had my 100-400 on my camera, Sony a7 IV. The 100-400 is it like I was shooting at like 5.6, ISO 2000. I could have cranked it up obviously, but I didn't really want to. My shutter speed was only 400, which is half what I minimum usually shoot. Yeah. So I shot it not remembering that denoise was a thing. And my buddy Aaron, we went to go out to Pyramid Lake this last Sunday morning, and took a picture that my dad asked me to take. And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, you should try that denoise AI filter. It's rootin' tootin' good," or whatever the fuck he says. And I was like, "Cool, man." So I went home and I tried it, dude. Fucking insane, dude. Like there was a couple of pictures that were pretty heavy in noise from the football game, and I put it in there, and it's like, "Oh, it take about 55 seconds to do," or whatever, right? Which is like I think it's a default because it took like
It's like a
15.
minute. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a minute per image. Yeah.
And it not only did it clean out all the noise. So if you guys haven't tried it, you should. It not only did it clean out all the noise, but it also sharpened the image a little bit,
Right.
which is the exact opposite of what I'm used to. And I looked at it and I was like, that's not even fair. Like I've been missing out on that for like a few months just because I was stubborn and stuck in my ways.
That's true. I think change is definitely tough
Oh yeah.
when it comes to like.
Well, look at you switching
a lot
over to
of
DaVinci.
Oh yeah.
Same with Kyle. Kyle doesn't want to do it. George did the switch to DaVinci from
I just
Premiere.
didn't want to pay for all the Adobe Suite stuff.
Well, yeah, and the fact that DaVinci is free is insane, and you pay $250 for like
Preem,
3
but
things.
it's like it's
but
not
you don't
even worth
need
it.
them. Yeah, no, exactly. You can get it, and I don't know if it's ever going to change, but I have it now. I have the program, so as long as I don't put it behind an ad wall, we're good.
Nice.
But
I
DaVinci's
really
insane,
hope there's no ad
That would
wall
be-
to it. That
dude,
would be the death of it.
and I guarantee they make a ton of money on donations and
Right.
and even the people that are paying for it. So
Yeah, the new features in freaking Lightroom though have been insane. Like the color mixer, like
Yeah.
that selecting specific colors and then being able to adjust the specific color
Oh yeah.
has been nuts. And I mean that's perfect for especially us that work with skin tones all the time. You good?
I don't know that my throat growled.
I was like,
I don't
no,
know
it's
what
you
that-
or
I didn't
me.
hear anything.
'Cause I know I like felt it earlier when I was like drinking this more because I'm like, oh man, I'm like really.
It's because
just
these things
feeling-
are damn good.
Yeah, really
You
good.
can't stop it.
I mean, I opened 2, so I have to like get through this one and that one. So.
I know, I'm about to open my
That's why I'm
second
just like
one.
trying to like just get them in the background. So,
Mm.
but yeah, like I
Right.
mean, what you're saying, like with the features, it's like insane. Because I actually, I hate to admit this, but I upgraded to you want to know my editing workflow for like
I
the last
kinda
couple
do.
years? So
Well, okay, let's do how did you start with your editing?
yeah, that's what I was gonna get to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first started doing photography, it was literally like, oh man, like late 2017, and I really kind of like have a starting point at like middle of 2018 when I started like working with like models, aka just random people on Instagram.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that's how we all start.
It's such a weird way of starting things because like literally it's like, I mean, when you start like working with like other people, it's either like people throw you right into like families or like weddings or something like that, which is insane.
Oh,
but
my
like,
wedding one was one of my first was a wedding.
Oh really? Oh my god.
I think that it's a misprint on the can.
What are you showing? What's going on there? You know, whatever. It's. I mean, we can have some, you know, some fungi action in our bellies right now.
If I die,
that's good.
I'm gonna try this. I saw this on TikTok.
Again?
Did it work last time?
Yeah.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember doing it.
Oh, I'm so nervous about
I don't know how to
this.
do it either.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Just don't spill on my laptop. Oh my gosh.
Gotta get the head.
That's beautiful. But yeah, so like started like 2018, and actually it was funny. The two girls I shot with in 2018, I just did both their weddings last month.
That's not like full circle moment for you, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's true. Well, we became buds after that because like
I had a full circle.
the thing is like I just try to be like friendly, obviously, and like try to like have a really good rapport. That's like the thing you like mainly learn because most of the time you're a dude working with like random women and all that stuff, and you like be very mindful of like, you know, just all that shit. But anyway, so started then. I think I was editing on like. I had like a gaming PC that I was editing on.
Dude, I think I started on a gaming PC too.
Yeah, in like Lightroom Classic, and I'm like, God, this sucks so bad. I hate this so much. And then I took a break from photography for like I think like 6 months, and then I came back and I was editing on an iPad Air. This is like early 2019. iPad Air, complete dog shit rig setup. And I did that until I think, God, how long? I think until like 2021.
Damn.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of
That's dedication right there.
Yeah,
seriously.
And then
Jesus.
well, the thing is, I like the iPad because I like doing this is back before we had the AI masking tools. We had the normal masking tools, and I hated doing that with a mouse.
Yeah.
I like doing it with my hands. And I like I've used the hell out of that tool, and like I mean my photography back then is like totally different from what it is now. But
do you still have any of those photos posted from like back in the day? Have you like
archived
anything, or you just keep
I've archived like mostly personal stuff because like my Instagram has been like that's been my Instagram since like day one. Then it's kind of became my photography Instagram. So there are definitely like I mean my brain like my current style to me started like middle of last year.
Yeah,
when I started doing like the grain and everything. Because if you keep going down, like my photos are super warm.
That's I'm gonna do the scroll right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm trying to post as much as I can. Like that's why I have to get over like being a perfectionist with postings. I just gotta like filled out with, like I have so much work to post, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to post like one photo. I want to do like this thing, and it's
you
like
want to do one photo or carousel
or whatever. You just get it out. Just get it out because like it bothered me for so long. You can just do 2 swipes and like you're back at like 2021. But yeah, then I got an iPad Pro. Which was a lot faster.
There is a huge change within the styles, though.
Hey, don't call me out like that. I mean, like,
no, it's great.
No, I
it's
get you.
Freaking great.
I get you. Thank you. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to be a lot more humble about like, you know, people telling me like, oh, your old work was like really good, and like in my brain, I'm like, I don't like to think about it. But I mean, I obviously want to be very grateful for people's kind words. But
yeah.
So yeah, I went to an iPad Pro, and that was fine. I just use like the Lightroom that's on the iPad Pro is very similar to like the base Lightroom they have for like the Mac, like what they have now.
Yeah.
And I just stuck with that forever because I was used to it.
Yep.
Until this summer, when I was noticing everyone using like the AI editing tools from like Imagen and Aftershoot and all that stuff. And I've not given it a shot yet, but all I knew is that you had to use Lightroom Classic for it. Yeah. And I was talking to some other photographers who've been around for like ages, who I really look up to and locally, and I was like talking to them about the transition, and because the first time I used like Lightroom Classic, I like hated it. It was just like I felt it was not very user friendly, but I was just a big baby. And all it took was a couple, times of just like messing around with stuff and getting my style to like blend from like, I guess like base Lightroom to Classic. And now it's like way more, I love it a lot more. and you know, I have a knack for like starting something and just like not knowing how to end it. So there you go. So anyway, editing Lightroom Classic now, and yeah, I really like it. So there you go. Lightroom Classic gets a 7 out of 10. I don't know. I feel like an 8. 8's pretty good.
Eight's good.
Closer to an 8 than a 7.
It started low.
I started with Lightroom 4 in 2012. It was a little.
What are we on 6 now?
It's 6 point something. So and that may it's only a couple. Yeah, but there's been there's been like 2 or 3 patches per year because it's 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. Oh, now it's 5. Okay, so. And Lightroom doesn't really package it like Apple does. We're like, oh, this is iPhone 15. What's the difference between the 14 and the 15? Oh, I put a 15 on the box. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I shoot iPhone. I have iPhone. Shut up. But for a lot of people that get into Lightroom, I've seen a lot of people, like when I teach my classes and stuff, they will have like, oh, here, here's Lightroom. Show me how to do it. I'm like, no. Like, and there's nothing. And Lightroom is like for light editing, local stuff, and catalog. Yeah. Lightroom Classic is my suite that I do for my editing and stuff like that. So there's LR and there's LRC. When you guys go in, if you get the photography suite, with the photographer's bundle, right? Got Photoshop, Lightroom, and then a couple other things. That's like 15. Oh no, I think they raised this $20 a month now, which still worth it.
It used to be 10.
So. Well, I think your first year is still, because if you get your first year, especially if you get a Black Friday or Cyber Monday, bam, $10 a month, dope. Then it jumps up to 15 or 20. I can't remember what it is. I've been paying for it since 2012. Yeah. Lightroom has had thousands of dollars from me. You're welcome. No, but
seriously though.
It don't, like, for me personally, I don't think there's a point in having Lightroom. LRC does the cataloging too, and you do your editing in it.
Oh, you're talking about Lightroom, just like Lightroom,
right?
Not LRC.
And same with Photoshop, because like it seems like it's so seamless between Lightroom and Photoshop now that I don't even use Adobe Bridge anymore.
I have never used Adobe Bridge, really.
I used Bridge for like a little bit for like culling, but I realized like it's just easier for me to just do it in Lightroom.
Lightroom, yeah. Just you should. Did I tell you about Callie?
No.
So she has her hotkey set up. So she literally sits there when she gets done with the wedding, because she'll shoot like 4,000-5,000 images. And then she's like, yeah, you have to get like, 150, 200 images. And she gives them like 2,500 or something. Like she gives her like everything.
Okay. I am Callie. I'm turning into Callie.
That makes sense. So Callie's getting a great beard. I like it. Yeah. So she was at my house editing one night. And she was literally like this.
The arrow key and P?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yep. And I was like, I watched it. I was like, what are you doing? And she's
lagging.
Like, I'm culling. And I was like,
or culling, yeah.
Because I on the Canon, I used to hit the rate button. If I knew there was a banger that I got, I'd hit the rate button for 1 star. And then in Lightroom Classic, hit the little thing. This is, for rating. And it puts all the ones that I had a 1 star onto the left. And those are my primary edits. And then I go through and call the rest of it. But she was sitting there. We were talking. We had like dinner. We were having drinks, like just chilling and catching up with each other. And she was like, and I was like, oh, that looks fun. I have a video of it.
I mean, I do the same.
I have a video of it somewhere.
I don't know how many photos you normally take in a session.
It depends because which session?
Like, let's say it's just like a couple session.
I would say
because you don't charge per hour, do you? Or do you charge? Do you charge per hour?
So I do have like my packages start at like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because like I feel like an hour it always.
Real quick, if you don't mind, I did notice that's becoming much more popular too. Like, because I realized that I was doing the same thing and I didn't really realize it. Because I do a certain price for an hour. I say it's for an hour and a half. Usually my photo shoots end in an hour, but that extra 30 minutes is enough to make them not worry about the time.
Right.
It's going to be so stressed, and it is becoming really popular that photographer packages are now per hour and a half, which is something that honestly until I'd say probably this year, it's kind of unheard of. It's 1 hour or 2 hour. That's it. If you go over, you pay for another hour, whatever.
Yeah.
1.5 is just, it's smart.
I've noticed that trend too. And I like looked at like so many people's like, package offerings and like their like way of branding their like stuff. Cause like Mike was mentioning, I went to a whole rebrand where I looked at like my entire, like I looked at like, I think like 70 photographers' websites and like how like they market themselves, how they put together their packages and all this stuff.
Look at mine, did you?
You don't hear what I thought.
There's a reason. There's a reason I took it down.
But I would look at like, what made sense. Cause like I would notice when I would do sessions, it's like we get an hour, but it's like, it's usually like, we usually always go like 15 minutes over.
Right.
And I'm just like, we might as well just like have like the extra 30 there. And like often people don't take it, but they're fine with it. Right. But we have like the time to breathe. But usually in a session that long, I've noticed like around like 600 to 900 or something, something like that. Just because like sometimes like I said, like when I'm I do market myself as a documentary style photographer, which feels like very buzzwordy, but I do stand by it. Just because like I am literally just like there, like watching people do their stuff. Like I did this shoot recently with one of my friends, Mick, and her fiance, where like they got like an old Jeep Wagoneer. I just got in the back seat and just like was like holding down the trigger. Just like, you guys just like be cute. That's what we're gonna do. And like from stuff like that, you're gonna end up with a ton of stuff, but you get like a lot of in between moments that are just like absolutely perfect.
Right.
So like, you know, like it's you know, it's a lot to cull. Like for example, the wedding that I posted today, I was second shooting with a friend of mine, or another photographer, but he's a friend now. His name's Ryan Smith in Northern California in Monterey. I went and second shot with him like 5 times, and like this wedding, like I owe him a drink or some drugs or something like that, because I shot like 8,000 photos.
Heck yeah, dude.
And going
how long
through
was the wedding?
it was like 10 hours.
Holy fuck balls, dude.
But I was like, that was like the first and last time I did that, because like then I had like, you know, 5 of my own weddings after that. I'm like, I would like to fill 1 memory card, because we don't need to be doing this. Because a lot of times I'm like, Michael, these could all be gifts. Like, dude, you got to calm down. So I really try to aim for like around like 3,000 or so, because usually my weddings usually give out around like 1,000 if it's like a really good one.
I want to comment on something real quick if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So for those of you that I'm dying inside thinking about this. For those of you that didn't pick up on the GIF reference that he's talking about, or GIF, whatever you guys want to call it, it is GIF for sure.
It's a GIF. Yeah.
GIF.
Let's not be.
GIF is the peanut butter, bro.
Let's not be freaks around here. It's a GIF.
So-
Okay.
So what a GIF is essentially it is a video that is broken down per frame and compressed to take up a very small space that can be used for social media, posting, whatever, right? So the joke that he made, and that's why I want to talk about it, is essentially he's saying that he's taking so many pictures in a burst that he could turn it into a GIF because of the pictures themselves.
I almost made like 3 when I was going
Just cause.
just cause I was like, it's so funny, because like at the one I was shooting, it was out in Napa, and like they wanted me to get another angle of the first look, so I was like up in this building behind from a window, and like the bride actually twirled the groom, and I was like, I straight up got like 25 photos of this. I could make
awesome.
like a 1 second I could make a 1 second GIF of this.
Right.
So it's just like, but definitely like learning that lesson, because this is time, dude. It's like so much time to go through, and a lot of the photos are like pretty much the same, and I know what it comes down to, and this is kind of what I want to talk about a little bit, because I love talking the tech on this stuff.
Yeah.
But what I'm mostly into is like the like human interaction with like all of this stuff. And not to say, you know, no one, everybody else isn't, but you know what I'm saying. Because I did that because I was nervous. I was super nervous, and I wanted to make sure you got everything I could, all that jazz. In the end, you're only hurting yourself by like kind of being present in those moments and like picking your spots and knowing what to look for. You're going to save yourself time, but also suffer like a lot of like, you know, stress and anxiety when you can actually be present with like the people you're working with. So, because I'm like sitting there like culling through like 7,500 photos, and I'm just like, I'd rather not be doing this.
Right.
I'd rather not be doing this. And then I learned as I did like my last like 4 or 5 weddings this year, like they like narrowed down. I got the important stuff. It gave me more time, made editing a lot less stressful. And also like when I was doing the wedding, I wasn't like just bothering people, or like not bothering people, but just like, you know, like constantly having a camera up, because you know, a lot of time you're hanging out, you just want to be part of like what's going on. So,
So and I think it's really interesting too, and and I know you know this, so I'm not saying this to you directly, so don't take it that way. But for people that are listening they're kind of unsure, there's something called the spray and pray method. And there used to be a saying a long time ago, like, oh, I take 1,000 photos to get one that I like. And that's like a landscaper's mantra, you know? But I very much try not to take a whole bunch of pictures for that exact reason. I don't want to spend half my time culling through the photos. And I think it's awesome with mirrorless cameras now that when you look through the viewfinder, you can see exactly, when you hit play, you can see what's there. Because when you chimp on DSLRs, when you take a burst and you look down, you make sure it's good, take burst, right? You're breaking that intimate contact that you have with your clients.
exactly.
So, but when you're shooting with a mirrorless camera, you take that picture, and I usually do like 2, maybe 3 pictures in case somebody blinks. I go 1, 2, and then I hit play, check real quick, everybody's eyes are open, boom, that's it. That's what I do. But they don't know that I'm like checking. They think I'm just, waiting for another set. And if one of them is blinking and like all 3, for some reason, somebody's just having a stroke in the picture, then I drag them out of the picture, and then I take the picture of the rest of the group. But it's how I keep from having to do all that. Like the family session that I just did, I think I took like 104 pictures.
That's tiny.
That is
crazy.
tiny. That
For
is tiny.
how long?
40 minutes.
Okay, so
Wow.
in comparison, I had a family session this weekend. I took 1,100.
How long was yours?
Same.
All right, fuck me then. So, but the thing is, like,
just in contrast, like, right?
right, and there's nothing wrong with doing that whatsoever because you're gonna find
Yeah.
good pictures. But like and to be fair too, I'm also when I take pictures, I go da-da-da, and then when I find one that's really good, I have my camera set up. So Sony has this, and I haven't seen another camera that does it. But Sony has it set up where if you hit the delete button twice, instead of hitting it once and hitting OK, if you hit it twice, it just deletes the photo.
I never knew that.
I didn't even know that.
Perfect. Well, you're welcome. So, but I'll go, take 3. I'll find one that I like, and I'll delete the other 2. And it takes like 3 seconds.
Oh, that's nice.
And
That's
then
actually
because
nice
you
to
can
know,
because
yeah.
you can still rate on these 2, it's just a bit weird to rate on
Jankier.
these.
Yeah.
No, it really is. Whereas the 5D Mark IV literally just had a rate button. You go, boop, and
I
it's done.
did not know that. That's actually kind of nice to know.
I didn't even
So-
know that like because I had the A7 III, like I didn't know it had the touch screen until like this summer.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like
I'm not laughing at you, but I used to teach photo tours in Hawaii, and this guest brought a camera on the tour, and she's like, "This keeps happening when I take a picture. I don't understand why." And I was like, "Well, let me see. Let me help you out." And I hadn't had one of these cameras before. I forget which one it was, to be honest, but I hadn't had one of these. I hadn't shot one of these. So I picked it up and I went to go take a picture. My nose touched the screen because it was a pop out swivel.
oh yeah.
Right? So I went to like it had that little sensor. So if you put your eye up to it, it switches to the viewfinder.
Right.
So I did that because I was shooting the 5D Mark IV. I'm not used to this. So my nose touched it and I saw it focus and take a picture. And I was like, "Well, there's your problem." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's a fucking touch screen." She's like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "It means you touch the screen." Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Dude, the best thing about being a Filipino is my nose is so small that it won't freaking touch the screen. It's fantastic. Love it.
A privilege
You
I'll
can say
never
it,
know.
I can't.
No.
That's
Y'all big noses.
That's going to be one of the shirts that I make for ourselves from the podcast because I
What?
say all the time, you can say that, but I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So, and I have a question for you too about your workflow.
Mhm.
Do you have a standalone website or do you go through a gallery site?
I have a standalone website.
Awesome.
I mean, I do use like a website builder, which I don't think is the same thing. I use like Show It.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good for like,
Yeah.
like I think for photographers it's perfect. But yeah, and then just use like PicTime for my photo sets.
I just made an account on PicTime the other day.
It's nice. I used PixieSet
it's
before,
insane.
and I forgot like what turned me off of it. It might have been the price. I don't really remember.
Yeah, because
You
I'm
know-
on Pixie set right now.
And so
I committed to
and so is
Pixie Set.
Callie. And
Yeah.
Callie's the one that got me into this. And I
We
also
talked about this on the last pod.
We
'Cause
did.
You canceled your smug mug.
I did. I closed down, which is here's you're gonna get a kick out of this.
Okay.
I canceled my smug mug. So I do rodeos, barrel races, and sports as well.
Okay.
Need smug mug for that shit. Right.
What is Smug Mug?
So smug mug is it's like Pixie Set
Mhm.
or Pick Time. It's the same thing, but it's
Shitty.
very simple. Thank you.
It's so crazy.
I
'Cause,
mean,
like,
it's $30 a fucking month.
there's like little things like this in like the photography sphere where like you could just be making that up and I would not even know.
For sure.
It's like
And-
it's like I mean I was on Footsie for like I don't know like 3 years and it's just like yeah sure that's a thing whatever.
You know, I completely agree with that. But the problem is that on this podcast, we have people we have a lot of photographers and we have a lot of very dedicated listeners that look up stuff that we say,
Yeah.
like to do extra research or whatever. And I'm the first one to admit if I fuck up. For instance, last week we talked about what a jockey box is. When I was a
You
kid,
fucked up?
yeah, apparently, when I was a kid, I got called out hard by Stephanie. Okay, when I was a kid, I was told that the middle console was the jockey box and the glove compartment was separate.
Okay.
But the jockey box is the glove compartment. The center console is, wait for it, the center console. Okay, no, I didn't know that. All right, no, but that's why I was like, that's called the jockey box, because I'm redneck. No, wrong. Okay, it's the glove compartment. I'll admit that. And when it comes to all this other stuff about like, like, oh, you say something wrong,
Thanks
whatever.
for the fact checkers.
And it's
Appreciate
you're
it.
right. So Smug Mug, I would upload like the Ranch Hand Rodeo in Winnemucca. I shoot that every year. It's a 5-day event, and I leave there with like, I leave there with like 25,000 photos,
Yeah.
and I upload about 6,000 of them, and then people can go on there. They can choose digital download, print, whatever. They boom, boom. It's literally a dumbed down, not nearly as good looking version of PixieSet and PicTime. So when I was going through trying to figure it out, and I deleted my Smug Mug account, the very next fucking day that I deleted my Smug Mug account, my friend Casey's like, "Hey, it's a football championships this weekend. You should come down and get pictures. Parents are gonna buy them, I promise." And I was like, "Fuck." And Callie had already told me about PicTime and PixieSet, and she said that she regrets actually doing PixieSet
PixieSet?
first because she said it looks like PixieSet is chasing PicTime.
Hmm.
And like, because PicTime is
interesting.
like, PicTime's like, I am alpha. And then PixieSet's like, I'm alpha. And they're trying to be that way. So she said PicTime is where PixieSet wants to be. So I was like, fuck it, I'll meet the man in the middle.
Yep.
30-day for free on the first one, and then the prices are super affordable. Miller's Print Studio, which is based out of Kansas and Missouri. She told me about them. I did research on them. They are insane, dude. Not only, it's really cool. Like I just made their account today to link into it, integrate, so that way when people print, it goes through Miller's.
Mm.
So I'm setting that up now. But when I went to the website and I made an account, I got an email and it said, "Hey, welcome. Upload 4 pictures for free."
Wow.
And like uploading on anything is free, but I get these prints for free, and they send me 4 8x10s. They give me 2 copies of each one that I put up, and 1 copy has their color correction on it, and the other copy is as is. So I put in 4 pictures that I want. They're gonna send me 8 pictures completely for free, 8x10, just to be like, this is our quality. What do you want to do?
Oh, nice.
That's dope.
It's insane, dude. And the fact that they're based out of Kansas and Missouri, it doesn't matter if you order from Maine, Texas, Oregon, wherever. They're in the center of the country, literally, and it's like 3 days.
Wow.
So if you guys are looking for a new lab, I got you. Because I was in Nation's Photo Lab since 2011,
Okay.
2012. I've used them all the time, and Shutterfly. But fuck you, Shutterfly. You fucked up a bunch of my books. Nobody that has my books, they're fucked up. I promise. I sent them back. You're all good. I promise. I need to clarify that because I had a lot of people buying books, and you're all good. I promise.
I hope so.
No, they really are. Like I have a stack of books in my house that are all fucked up. There was like 5, but yeah, you guys are good. I promise. Stack. But yeah, I'm glad to know that you guys are on the same page. That's awesome.
You're on Watch Shutterfly.
Yeah, just
I have to use them for a family book, but I'm now kind of scared.
see. Okay, so and I want to ask. I genuinely want to know, right? Because I want to make my second coffee table book.
Right.
But I think I'm going to decide it on Canva, and then I'm going to export that file and put it onto Kindle Publishing on Amazon. Because then if anybody orders it, Amazon does everything. Because as it is now, I make the book, I order it, I ship it to me, I sign it, and then I ship it out to them.
Yeah.
I make barely any profit on this, which I'm not a greedy person, but that's kind of the whole point of having this business is to make profit.
Well, it's a lot of work too.
It's a lot of extra work, right? Because I have to receive, sign it, drive to the post office, and then I also have to explain to them that it's right because it's a media thing. And if you guys didn't know, if you guys ship your stuff out, you guys make a book, tell them that it's media that you're shipping because that cuts the price in like half because it's educational, which it is educational.
Technically.
But yeah, do it that way. And then when somebody orders it off of Amazon, they fulfill everything. I upload 1 book, I pay 1 time, and then Amazon does the rest, and then Kindle Publishing takes that cut, and I get the rest of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. I just need to figure out how to do it. I feel old sometimes.
You'll figure it out.
Well, I'm going to need help.
We already know you're old.
That's
you're
true.
not that old.
You're 29, right?
28.
When you turn 29?
May.
Close enough. You're 29. How old are you?
29.
I'll be 28 in February.
Fuck you guys.
So.
There you go. 2 Michaels almost.
There we go.
Age.
But I'll tell you
Pretty
right now,
close.
I'm not the oldest person in this building right now.
Nice.
She
Way
can
to
hear me.
call
She's going to
out.
kick my ass. She's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
whoop my ass. I love you.
DJ doing
30.
all the favors for himself.
Exactly.
You know, she's waiting right outside the door like, oh, you think it's fun? Like whatever Mexican
Have
accent.
you ever watched New Girl?
Yeah.
You know that Schmidt? And he goes 29.
Oh, dude, I love Smith.
Dude.
We need a
I'm Schmidt.
douchebag jar.
No, I'm Schmidt.
We need a douchebag jar so
29?
much.
Yeah, we
29?
do need a douchebag jar.
You know who would have filled that douchebag jar the fastest?
What?
No, who?
Who?
Kyle.
Yeah, he would have. He would have.
And
Real quick.
douchebag in a good way, just so you know.
Do I know Kyle?
Kyle Broxman.
I have no idea what that is.
He now works in Vegas for a company that Nissan technically owns, doing advertising and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I replaced him at Nissan as their photographer.
Okay.
He is a massive rock climber. He has a podcast, The Climate Majority.
Oh, cool.
Super, and they just hit like 150,000
Yeah,
downloads or
it's
something.
wild.
It's fucking insane.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we've
Nice.
been chasing the 1,000.
Whoever that's interested in freaking rock climbing.
Well, apparently there's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
No,
You're like, it's insane. And people that don't even like rock climbing, they're just, I like his voice. It's fine.
He has a good voice.
I like my voice. Oh.
Don't really like mine.
I like your voice.
Thank you.
I don't like my voice, and I'm here anyway, so take it
I think you
as
actually
a
sound
compliment.
You have a really good voice for
You do.
podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I randomly got that compliment from like someone's grandmother. I was just like, they're like I was like at a party and they're like, oh yeah, like you have a great voice for radio. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, but thank you so much.
You know, I got a similar compliment, but instead my dad told me that I have a face for radio, and I wasn't exactly sure what that meant at first.
face for radio?
Well, he's not my biological father, so he's allowed to say that because it's not his fault.
I mean, do you want to know? Do you get the joke?
Oh, I do now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but he told me that when I was like 12, and I was like, thanks, Dad.
I was like, DJ, if you don't know, I mean, I will tell you, but it's gonna be a really bad first impression.
He made the joke when I was 12, and I was like, thanks, Dad. And then
geez.
he's like, cool. And then I get on the school bus, I go to school, I tell my friends, they laugh because they get it and I don't. I'm like, ha ha. And then I go home and I fall asleep and I'm like, a motherfucker. Yeah.
My dad told me I had a face for radio. It's like, sure do, buddy.
You're a dick.
That's my dad. Now go stare in the corner in the wall.
Right.
Because I've had people tell me the same thing about my voice. They're like, oh, you have a really good voice. You should do a podcast or read books or whatever. And I'm like, I hear my voice all the time and it's fucking annoying to me.
Yeah,
I think that's to everybody though.
Yeah, I think it's
your voice.
I think it's a thing that like you just kind of have to like kind of wrestle with and just kind of get over it. Because like I remember people tell me that I could sing pretty decently, and that's a thing that I've been like actually trying to practice more.
Yeah.
That's something that like I hopefully will, like I've been just so busy because I'm trying to like carve out like time at the end of my day to be like I'm gonna like practice my music stuff. Because I was like learning guitar earlier this year.
Nice.
And then I was like just like working 14-hour days, and I'm like don't have the time for that. But hopefully in the future I'll be able to do that and share more of that. But yeah, it's like kind of a matter of just like I don't know, just like
getting down and doing it.
Yeah, well, and also telling your insecure part of your brain to shut up, pretty much.
Right.
Oh, that never turns off. Hello?
Never.
It never turns off, but it could be muffled a little bit
with drugs.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I went to
the drug of life.
I went to my my friend's son's like piano recital, and these like 12-year-olds are playing masterpieces on piano, and it made me so jealous that I'm just like, I gotta go pick up something and play. And I'm like, I gotta learn again because I play like, not to brag, not to toot my own horn, but I play like 10 different instruments.
Oh wow!
Like
hold on, I'm gonna explain this real quick. Not to toot my own horn. What did you play in fucking band?
Trumpet.
Tooting your fucking horn.
Sorry.
But I'm tuss.
Yeah, I play drums, and I'm not like, well, not to beat my fucking bass drum, you fucker. Were they Asian, by the way? The kids playing the piano?
Half.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing: is that
the majority was white.
That might sound racist, but like a lot of the videos that I see on like TikTok and stuff of like like
Asians
you go, like,
are really good at
they're
music.
They're insane, and like the people that play the pianos at the airports.
Yeah.
They are always
accompanied by an Asian.
They are either Asian or if they're white, there's some like
the people who play the piano at the airport.
Yeah, you never seen that?
Maybe.
You're welcome to doom scroll TikTok after I told you. Now it's a dangerous loop on that.
I will say,
seriously,
I'm on social media a lot. I'm not on TikTok.
Okay, so
yes, I'm not alone. Michael's unite. Woo-hoo!
Oh yeah, I posted art stuff on there once. I turned off notifications and hop on there every like couple months.
So I was very much against TikTok in the beginning because I love Vines. I thought Vines were hilarious. I followed a lot of them. They were great.
Oh yeah.
But I know in order to be competitive, which is why we also made a Vero earlier, and I know to be competitive, you have to join. I do. You do.
I know.
Yeah, you have like 3 posts. I think he has 2. But I know
half post.
I know to stay like competitive or to be visible, you have to do these things. So I went on TikTok and I started scrolling one night, and there's a lot of really creative, cool stuff on there, and there's a lot of stuff that can be transformed into a photography sense.
Oh yeah.
And I know it sounds really weird, but like, it's just the creativity that comes on there on that platform, and there's people that make a living on that one platform.
Oh yeah.
They make like a 30-second video, they do some editing, they post it, they get 150,000 likes, they get like a 3, 4, 5 grand check every month. And I think that's awesome. Coming from a kid that grew up playing video games, being told by a lot of people like, oh, that's not going to go anywhere. Video games are not a future, blah, whatever. Bullshit, because there's people that make 7 figures a year playing video games.
Oh yeah.
Off streaming, off competitions, all that kind of stuff.
Freaking ninja.
And if that speaks, dude. And if that speaks anything to anybody, dude, if it's something that you enjoy, that you think there's a future in, fucking run with it, dude. Like, why not? TikTok is awesome. You got to give it a chance.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like that's like definitely because we've not really talked about it yet, but like, well, we did talk about like me, introducing my artwork. I heard a noise too. I was like,
yeah, I was like, that was really aggressive somehow.
But like with artwork, like that's like the whole thing of like content in terms of that is like it's very easy to make things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've done like like before and afters and all that stuff, and it's like very, I don't say like low effort, but it's like not as like much work as you think it is.
Right.
And people love that stuff. Like I had I think it might have been because I was using trending audio, but like I had a reel like hit like 50,000 views in like a day, and that like blew my mind. And like you said, like it's a great platform for like just getting your stuff out there.
Yeah.
Was this like your pointillism stuff, like your pen work?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like basically, I just did like a I've been meaning to make a sequel or like at least more stuff like this, where it's just like, hey, here's like my outline, here's like the final version, and like I made that in an afternoon.
You doing like a time lapse or?
It was like more so like I would do like a pencil outline, and then basically like in my brain, it's like I'm like coloring it in like a coloring book basically.
Right. Okay.
So it was just kind of like, hey, here's like before and after, all that stuff. And like one of my friends who's like not artistically inclined at all, besides like music, he is like, oh, I could watch this stuff for
That's
like hours.
artistically.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I know.
You
Sorry,
just offended both of us.
I was like trying to like just be mindful of that. He's like, oh, he's like he likes doing music, so I want to mention that too.
He
I don't
plays
say
the
he's, like,
trombone.
doesn't
I
do
play the
nothing.
drums.
Yeah, sorry, like that.
You play the trombone too.
Of course you do.
That was me arguing with my own brain. But yeah, like to your point, like like that is such a great avenue for like creators to like get their stuff out there and like have it go really super viral and make a living for themselves. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for my photography, I don't think I would really do social media too much.
Dude, I think I feel the same way.
It's nice to stay in contact with friends from like around the world that I have, but that's what Discord's for, right? Because I play games with a lot of people from
There's a lot of Facebook and MySpace back in the day.
Oh yeah, dude, MySpace.
Yeah.
Okay, weird fact. Sorry, I thought I deleted my MySpace like
years,
a decade and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, are you sure? Yes. Are you super sure it's never going to be redone? Yes. Are you absolutely 100%? Yes. Yes, I thought I did. Yeah, I Googled myself the other day because I was drunk and bored. And it's still there. It's still there. Yep.
I think MySpace is supposed to be like a music platform now, not anything social related.
Which is so funny. That was like the one thing you always try to customize with your page is like, because I liked
Your
Avenged
favorite
Sevenfold,
songs.
so I had like bat skulls everywhere. It was black with the red font. With
Dude, we were
Avenged
all
Sevenfold playing
coders back in the day.
Yeah.
We all coded back in the day.
Oh, yeah,
we didn't
dude.
even know it.
No, that's big facts. Yeah, actually.
Oh no, I remember like I think I was like on MySpace like in the last like, couple of years it was there. It's like when did it like stop being super prevalent? Like what's like 2014?
I want to say
think way
when
earlier than
Facebook waived the requirement of having a .edu email, I think that's when Facebook started or MySpace started to fall off. And I want to say that was like 2010, 2009.
I feel like it was earlier.
Well, because I was on MySpace and I tried to delete my account in like
2012.
Yeah, I think so. 2011, right before my deployment.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, yeah, I'm out. Screw this. It's stupid. Well, apparently it's there forever.
That's crazy. I thought it was like all the way gone because I think I tried finding it like maybe like I don't know 6 or 7 years ago, and I think it was still there, but like the formats is like totally fucked.
Right.
It's,
Well,
like,
one of
totally
my
gone.
oh yeah, because if you don't update your the thing or whatever, the code falls when the new stuff comes out,
Yeah.
and it all falls apart. And I had when I applied for a job a while ago, and they were like, oh, we didn't research, everything seems good, you check out everywhere, and it's like there's just one thing, while we were checking out your background, and I was like, what? Because I don't do illegal things. I feel bad if I do anything remotely illegal, and I was like, what is it? And he's like, you have a MySpace account. And I was like, yep, it's been nice. Shake his hand. Get up and leave. He's like, no, it's fine. Sit down. But I was embarrassed because that's when I found out. I genuinely thought I deleted it. Nope. And this is like 4 years after that.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
It was insane. I was like, oh, my bad.
That'd be terrifying because like
Yeah.
I had my MySpace when I was like in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I
And
think
it's
mine was way earlier than that.
and it's just like
4th
God
or
knows
5th,
whatever
yeah.
like horrid like angsty stuff I was saying at that time. And as far as I knew, it was like, oh, it's gone, whatever. Out of sight, out of mind.
Well-
And if I was like at an like at a job interview like 2 or 3 years ago, I'd be like, oh, so you have like a MySpace. Like, I want to say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one
Yeah.
post that I had on like my Facebook memories that I'm like, I said this. This would not pass. I can tell you guys after the pod because I cannot say it on the pod. It was that bad.
Yeah, as long as it's not like referencing anything, right? You know what we're saying.
Yeah. I knew what I was
Mikey's
saying, and I
Mikey's
didn't
very
know it was
racist.
that bad.
Mikey's very
I
racist.
did not know it was that bad until I looked at it again, and I was like, shit.
I love your shirt, by the way.
Hawaii.
King Kamehameha on it.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
All day.
All
That's
day.
what's up. I lived there for 11 years. I love it.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Man, I had a joke and just coming off. I was gonna say, at least you had some remorse and not like, Michael, you have a good point. I might think that way again someday.
Oh no, I can't do it. I don't think I could repeat what I said on Facebook. It's
No one's making you. It's fine.
It's written down on Facebook.
It's there forever.
It's there forever. I'm screwed.
If I search for you, I'll find it.
I think it's back from 2011. I said it to one of my high
You were-
school
you were like
crushes
4.
back in the day. Shut up,
Ooh.
dude.
Ooh, that's not what I was expecting at all.
No, it was It was
Memos like
okay. That's okay. Deep dive. It was so I went to high school with this girl. We were high school friends.
What's
I had
her
a
name?
crush. Her name's Lisa. She's now married, so I can say Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
She was like my middle school crush. I asked her out, got denied because she couldn't date until she was 16. We were still friends throughout high school, and I said something in my Facebook post that I won't say. I'll tell you after
Facebook
the
or
pod.
MySpace?
Facebook.
Oh,
like on her wall or
On
something.
her wall.
Oh,
I tagged her in it. I
on
said,
the wall.
Wait,
I
wait,
said
that's-
something that
hold
I
on.
like can't say.
Isn't the wall MySpace?
No, it's Facebook.
Oh.
Facebook. I
God,
don't know
I'm
what
old.
MySpace had a
MySpace.
MySpace didn't have a thing though. What
Didn't-
was it?
Wait, isn't
Yeah, we did,
Facebook
right?
timeline and then
Yes,
MySpace,
and
is
MySpace
the
was
wall?
wall.
No, Facebook had the wall.
No.
No.
I'm wrong a lot, but I'm not wrong about this.
This is a Mandela effect shit. Like, no,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I
Seriously.
swear to God, Facebook had the wall.
We might have. I don't know. I thought it was timeline. We had timeline.
Damn it. The main features that are available to Facebook users
Timeline.
are the wall
Aha.
that allows friends to post blah, 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 messages, racist stuff. Photos that allow the users to share, upload their albums. Okay, but this doesn't actually talk about Facebook. Hold on.
You'll figure this out.
Oh, I will. Hold on. Does
But yeah,
MySpace
it was-
Yeah, Facebook is definitely where the
have a-
racist stuff hides.
Yeah, it was one of my middle school crushes that I still kept in touch with because we were still pretty much friends throughout
Mhm.
high school. And I said something on there, and I'm like, I saw it, I think, a year or two ago. I was like, I really said this. So
Okay.
Actually,
So,
well, I mean, it's middle school. And
so
also,
MySpace did come out before Facebook, and MySpace online social network SNS blah blah blah, where users regularly communicate via a particular part of the profile page known as
the wall.
the wall.
Okay.
So technically, it was Facebook.
Thanks,
Or
Trump.
sorry, it technically was MySpace.
oh, I just straight up stole it.
Good job, Tom. Good job, Tom. Everybody had Tom as a friend.
Wow,
Number one.
wow, Zuck, you let us down once again.
Shocker.
What would he have called it, though, besides the wall?
I don't know.
The slab.
Well, I mean, feed.
Slab.
Return the
The
slab.
Feed
I
did.
guess.
But you know, I and this is kind of weird, but like I think feed didn't really become popular until
Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter,
Mhm.
Snapchat,
X
Right.
now.
BuzzFeed, like
Twitter.
all that
It's
kind of
still Twitter, bro.
X.
Yeah.
I
hate
can't believe
X.
he got away with that. I'll be
I
honest.
can't believe he did.
I mean, like I was on Twitter for
hate
the
it.
longest time because for like my artwork stuff, that was great because I would get like it's much better at like getting your stuff out there if like a big account likes your shit.
Yep.
Because I would do a lot of fan art for this game called Destiny, and I would have like some of the community managers who just like found my work, just like retweet it, like, oh, here's like 3,000 likes, and it was super rad, and it was like great for like getting my stuff out there. But then like I just remember it just being like such dog shit to go on. And eventually it would be like, oh, here's like all these people you don't follow. Like, that's like not what I want. And like, here's all these things you don't like. It's like, thank you. That's not what I asked for. And it was just like, and also just like, I don't know, like the vibes of it was just like just not gelling with me at the time that I was like wanting to leave it.
Right.
So I like deleted it, I think like last fall or last summer or something like that. And it came back, or like I like downloaded it again to see what's going on. And I'm like, oh my God, people still
It's just full of debauchery.
log onto this app. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I feel the same way about Facebook. Facebook, it's to me, a red flag is someone using Facebook every day. That's a huge thing with me. You know, you guys can punch me all you want if you disagree.
Can you edit a red flag in my hand right now?
Okay, for business reasons, that's fine.
Okay, good.
That's fine. No, because like I mean, like
Green
technically,
flag. Thanks for making my
technically,
edit
I'm on
hard.
Facebook
Shit.
every day because like my Instagram like repeats it onto Facebook, and I'm like, oh, my mom liked my photo.
Oh
Okay,
my
sweet.
gosh! Speaking about fucking Facebook uploads, so apparently my Instagram linked to my Facebook,
Oh shit.
and I storied a post,
Uh-huh.
and DJ is the first one to comment. Is that your girlfriend?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, I had like one of my childhood friends that like when I started like working with like models and stuff with photography, they would like think like, oh, you have a lot of girlfriends. I'm like, what?
Right.
And it's like, oh, you're just weird. Like it's not. No, I'm just doing
No.
photos of people.
So
That's it.
I put the story on. It was a senior session of my friend's daughter,
Mhm.
who I've known since she was like 3.
This is the full circle. Full
Full
circle thing we're
circle
doing. And in my
photo.
defense, the picture was from a low angle. There was hair in her face. I just saw a girl, and it was just one post. There was not a series of pictures. It was just one picture. And I was like, fuck yeah, Mike, let's go. And he's like, no, friend's daughter. I was like, all right, I'm a terrible person. Cool. Okay.
The reason why is because people don't want basic ass senior photos. So
that's very true.
If they know the difference.
if they know the difference,
Yeah.
that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Well, I mean,
Because things that are basic now are artsy. You know what I mean? Like things that were like basic like 10 years ago are artsy now. Now people are getting into like film, right? And all this stuff is like stuff that was big like a long time ago coming around. Classic poses, all that kind of stuff.
Do you think your style is going to change with the trend if like film leaves? Like per se, like, because you know how it was like. We talked about the blue and orange hues, and then it goes into like this, and then now it's in film. Peter McKinnon's a huge shout out Peter McKinnon again. Huge proponent in film right now because he switched from digital to film and is like posting all about film.
And Leica,
and I feel like it's gonna hit that point where it's gonna cycle back into something. I don't know what that something is.
But my thing is like look at Fuji.
Yeah.
Right, Fuji. Well, and Lumix now as well. But like they have film sim. You don't have to have film anymore.
Yeah.
But I love film. Matter of fact, I made some prints at the camera store, Action Camerino. Shout out to you guys. Made a print at the store there to donate to Mari, the lady I was talking about. Owns a barbershop, BJ's Barbershop here in town. Donating it to them because she is hosting another artist there, a painter. And I'm donating my pictures to, and then she gets half the profits and Mari gets half the profits. Printing them through Action Camera. And Aaron's like, hey, man, he called me. He's like, hey, man, I'm looking at these pictures for you. I was like, I appreciate it. What's up? He's like, the black and white, it was a black and white at Donner Bridge with the Milky Way. He's like, it looks like you tried to recover a little too hard out of the shadows on the thing. And I was like, well, I made the noise a little bit higher to accentuate the sky. And then I wanted to have kind of like a film look to it. And he's like, okay, well, that makes sense. He's like, but it's really bad. And I looked, because I had it done on my mat.
That's a great excuse, but it really is like,
yeah, no, that was his tone. He's like, well, that's cool. But anyway, and so, because I have a, hold on, sorry, shock. I have a copy of that on my wall on matte, ProMaster matte paper. And I did it perfectly the way I wanted to. It looks great. However, on the luster from the camera store, and it's not the camera store's fault at all, but on the luster of the camera store, I looked at it and I was like, oh my God. And there is a lot of noise. And it's not like an inappropriate amount of noise, but if you know what you're looking for, it's a lot of noise.
Right.
Still donating it. But
yeah.
There you go.
Because on the next episode, and I want to tell you this now too so I can plan, but on the next episode, Stephanie, the same one that called me out about the jacket box, she really wants to know, actually her and a couple other people want to know about different mediums. Matte, pearl, metallic paper, all that kind of stuff, like what helps and stuff like that. So
cool. I get it. I got to do my research.
And
because I think in the digital age where I don't know if we edit for the digital, but I feel like we're editing for the digital. Not so much for the print.
When I take my pictures, I as I'm looking at what I'm trying to take a picture of, and I'm trying to line it up in my head.
It's for the digital.
It's for the digital. It's for the end process of knowing, like, because my dad loves my metal prints, my pictures on metal. Knowing that he buys all of my metal stuff, I try to not hide, but I try to have like more reds. You saw the pyramid sunrise. Yeah. So more reds, more purples, more warm tones. All that's purple's not a warm tone. Don't come at me for that. I know the difference. But that stuff pops off on metal and metal paper. So and you know it makes sense, but it's part of the process. But when you shoot a whole bunch of pictures like you and Callie and me and sports and stuff like that, you don't really have time to think about that. You're just like, I'll make it look good later.
Yeah.
Right.
AI tool, denoise, Photoshop.
Which even then, like, I mean, like going back to the physical medium of that, it's like I've been trying to like get more into that stuff because I started offering with all my new wedding packages. I do a full photo album, and I've had some people like order prints through PicTime.
Yep.
And it's like so cool to like see them like actually in person.
Right.
Which I just never get to. I see like my art in person because that's how I sell, my art and make money. But it's like with photos, I just don't really kind of think about it that much. But I want to like spend more of my time like actually paying attention to like the quality of these things. Because like for all I know, this could be a great photo how it looks on Instagram. Right. But then like in person, it's like it's fine. That's like a bummer. You want to have it be kind of universal. Right. So
real quick before we close out, I just wanted the thing that I was looking at before for my buddy. So my buddy Jason, shout out to you, buddy.
Oh, the guy that did what's the word? No, I can't remember the word. Shit.
Well, he's an icon shooter, so we'll start there.
What? Oh.
So obligatorily, I have to say at least 3 nice things about Nikon per season. So this is number 3. We're good.
We're done.
We're done. So he took a picture and he sent it to me, and I'll show you here in a second. He said that he was super excited about this lens. He wanted to buy it because
he's
it's
the
literally
wildlife photographer. Yeah.
he does a lot. Him and Callie are the two photographers in Hawaii that I recommend when people are like, oh hey, can you do this? But I was like, I don't live there anymore, but I do know these two people that are cool. So we bought this lens. It's a 200 millimeter f4. It's a macro, and it is a manual lens, and it was in production from 93 to 2020. It cost about $1,900 new, about $1,500 used, refurbished. Metal 62 millimeter filter thread with an FXDX and 35 millimeter coverage. 1-to-1 macro, and 41 ounces or 1,180 grams, which is ridiculous for a lens because everything is so light now.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this thing and it's weird. But he told me, he's like, hey man, I took a picture. I just want to show you this really quick, because it says it claims to be the world's best macro lens, and of course Nikon claims all kinds of crap. But he took a picture of it and he was actually surprised because it's completely manual, right? So you have to adjust yourself. But from a distance, at 300 millimeters, right? Okay, but zoom in on the water droplets in the background, and he's standing on the beach. The fuck, Nikon? And that's an f4. Like, it's absolutely insane to me. It is nuts, because this dude shoots a lot of surfers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this 200 millimeter fixed f4 is insanely sharp. It has the reach already. Where he's standing on the beach is going to be absolutely perfect. And that water,
I exited.
and that water gives like a lot of really cool texture. But I'll show you real quick.
I saw some tasteful nudes, by the way.
You're welcome. It was mostly Jason. Zoom in on the spray in the background.
Oh my god.
I'll send you the picture.
That's
nuts.
nuts.
Just wild.
It is absolutely insane. And he told
completely
me
manual too.
Yeah, no, exactly. And
I can't even focus on a regular
Well,
just manually in
Come
general.
on, you can.
Jason's been doing this for a while, but I have a feeling he manually focused on that rock, or
And
the
then just
cliff
got
right in front of it.
tack sharp.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because even if you're shooting at f4, you're still gonna have a decent. I mean, like, because right now we're recording right now. Oh no, we're at 5. We're at 5 right now. Yeah.
If we were at 2.8, one of us would be blurry.
Dude,
Huh?
unnecessary.
2.8?
For this, yeah.
I was gonna say that there's a 0.7 lens out there, for fuck's sake, which is completely
No, thank
unnecessary.
you.
There's some people I know who like I mean, like, good for them, they make it work, but like 1.8, like, I'm just like, I can't do that.
What is your like lowest aperture? Then?
Okay,
are you
so
at like 2.8, or are you like?
I will go to 2.8 more often now, just for like some like kind of soft looks, but like the safe spot for me is 3.2 to 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is your what is on your camera right now? Are you at like 24 to 70? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 24 to 70. Yeah.
You can't not. And so the funny thing is, and not hit on you, brother, at all. Don't take it offensively.
I mean, you said that so many times tonight. You can you could hate all you want. I'm here for it.
But when he's like 1 point is unnecessary, bro. I'm not kidding, bro. Spoken like a true fucking portrait photographer.
Yeah, true.
Because anything under 2.8 is great. It's cool. Sigma does a 1.2.
Yeah.
All this stuff, right? And I have one of their Sigmas, the 1.4. So good. But anyway, it is unnecessary. That 14 mil that I bought from Sony,
Yeah.
that's my banger for nighttime shots. That was a 1.4.
4.
Yeah.
And I love that thing. Unnecessary for portraits, right? Because anything below 2.8, like if you're shooting at 1.2, especially like 1.2, if you're not shooting on a Sony where it does retinal tracking instead of just eye focus,
Yeah.
if you grab the glasses or even the eyelashes, like I have long eyelashes, the eye retina already blurry.
Oh yeah, no,
It's insane.
I had I think a 1.8 prime for the longest time, and like that's actually what I shot on until like late 2021. And
you still dial it back to 2.8?
Yeah.
The 50 mil, or was it like
The 50 mil was like, it was like a standard, like, yeah, it was
nifty
like,
50? Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, just like so many times, like, oh, it like got like this, like the tip of their nose, and I'm just like, this sucks. So like, and also because like I just like noticed like I like it because very often we're shooting in like a wooded area or a place with a bunch of details in the background. I like having that there.
Right.
Because I noticed like a lot of again, like I said, I would like find a lot of photos that I really liked, and I'm like, well, what do I like about them? Like, well, the background is like visible.
Yeah.
And that's people have their own styles, and I don't want to be like hating on that by any means. But also like I love like getting the whole scene and going like 3.2, 3.5, sometimes 4. Usually 4 if I'm like being stupid and get my dials mixed up because like you're like switching between like aperture and shutter, and I'm like, oh, I was like messing with the aperture, not the shutter.
Yeah. Color temperature.
Yep.
You're like, whoa.
No, and sometimes in the middle of like weddings, I'll be like, oh, I've been like fucking with the aperture, not the shutter speed. All right, never mind. So
Well, that's why they put the aperture on the ring now.
Oh, on the side.
They put it on the actual lens.
Oh, really?
That's the G Master 2.
And you can choose like if you switch it to if you put it all the way slide over to the A, then you can make
I'm not
adjustments
gonna
like
do that
normal.
I'm like a caveman discovering fire right now.
Yeah, we told you about the
Wait.
double delete button, which I never knew about.
You're
but
welcome.
Damn.
So I wanted to tell. There was another question that was asked too. I want to hit it up too before because I told him I was going to. Two lenses, like that. I think me personally, I think is like the cornerstone for starting photographers. That also transition well into more experienced photographers, and that's the 24-105 f4 and the 24-70. I think they're extremely well rounded. They're great. You don't want to really just dive right into telephoto lenses. Canon ruined that for me with your 70-300 without IS. That's the stupidest fucking thing you've ever done, Canon. Don't care what you say. 300 millimeters without any
Lost that
IS.
sponsorship.
Stupid. Whatever. Be alpha. I got you. They don't have that.
Truth.
But yeah, those to me, that like 24-105. That's how I started my landscape stuff.
Yeah.
24-70 is like the wedding portrait photographer's best friend.
Love it.
Definitely
yeah.
the two that you would start. 24-105 is pretty cheap. 24-70, especially the GM2, are $2,400.
Listen to our draft.
Yep.
You'll know what our opinions are on what lenses are like the best for prime and zoom.
Yep.
We did. Spoiler alert! If you haven't listened to the previous episodes,
Shame on
35
you.
mil if you're going prime, and 24-70 if you're going zoom.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I wanted to ask too, have you guys seen Lightroom came out with another filter that you can use now?
No,
It is the twin lens filter.
the shit is that.
So
Yes.
essentially, so what it is broken down in its most core concept is you take a picture, whatever it is, and then the AI in Lightroom will take the subject and leave it at your lens, and then take a picture in the background
I have
and blur it.
seen this.
Right? And
oh yeah.
and essentially
I
all
don't
it is
know
is
how I
it's
feel about it.
all it is a more powerful professional version of what your phone does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
so-
program that does it, but so it's called Lens Blur, and it's early access right now.
That's,
Does that feel
that's,
good?
that's how funny is it, Mikey?
No,
So-
no.
It works best with a clear subject, blah blah blah. So essentially now, and you can slide it like it's crazy. Like there's like a slider that you can adjust right here, and like they're in focus. You can slide it over and make them more blurry in the background. You can choose to make them blurry and make the background clear.
So
And
thing
it's faux bokeh. Okay,
Which is what the iPhones.
Bokeh.
correct. Bokeh.
Yeah,
exactly.
bokeh.
yeah.
But
Nice.
FAUX bokeh.
Yeah.
And are you fucking kidding me? It's
Perfect.
Yes. I think it's really cool, but it's crazy that it's gotten to that point. So now if you guys take a picture at F8
F22.
F22 because you're being safe, it doesn't matter. Slide that bitch over to 1.8. You got it.
Oh, there you go. I guess.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I guess my brain
It's
is my brain
insane.
is like you can just like select the background and then like crank that clarity slider to
Right,
the
because
left.
you can
You
select
have
so-
options. There's
Have you guys-
masking, like the smart masking in
Yep.
Lightroom is insane right now.
Yeah.
and you can
so-
literally choose like person 1, person 2,
Person one,
person 3, person 4.
Love that.
yeah.
It's mind blowing what Lightroom can do.
This is actually one of the more dangerous times for people to get into photography because it's so complicated.
Rose walked in.
Rosa just walked in. If you guys can't see, but she's right there. Beautiful lady. How you doing? Somebody insulted you earlier. I beat him up. You're welcome.
His name's DJ.
Yeah, because I said I wasn't the older person in the building.
Anyways, yeah, that's
She's
like
like-
literally what the freaking iPhone did
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they put
exactly.
the aperture settings in the iPhone. It was such a fake, blurry background,
Yeah.
but
Especially
everybody
on the
wanted
hair.
everybody wanted that look.
Right.
And now that Lightroom has it, you're just like, it's gonna do the same shit because like it does blur your background more, but you're gonna still have the effects on your hair. You're
Right.
gonna have all these freaking aberrations that you can't really get rid of.
If
and
you know what
just
you're
like,
looking for,
yeah.
you'll find the imperfections.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And the crazy thing to me is that when you take a picture like that, you're gonna blur the background, right? If you naturally have that bokeh, anything 5.6 and lower, especially on a telephoto. So if you take a picture at 2.8, because we know what we're looking for, if you look at a picture that's at 2.8 and the background has that natural fall off in bokeh, that's great. That looks normal. But if the person from the tip of their nose to the back of their head is completely in focus and the background has that insane fall off,
Yeah.
you already know it's fake.
yeah,
You know it's not real. So like when you guys are doing this, make sure, just like everybody did when they first got into photography, they slid the saturation slider all the way there. Like, look, the blues and the greens are so good. Okay, I'm telling you now, don't do that.
Add
all
some
did.
contrast. It makes it amazing.
Oh, we all did that. Saturation slider plus
That was
100.
literally me and my friend like Luke from high school. Just
Yeah.
going like just crank that saturation or that contrast up. There you go. It's good
Nope.
now.
Nobody saw what Maggie just did, but she just opened the door with her paw
And
like
then
a
stared at
freaking
Rosa like she
human.
didn't know she. Oh, I'm sorry. Is she in your chair?
Oh no, they know what they're doing.
That was fucking wild.
She did.
Like-
It was really forceful. And, and
Like-
she hasn't looked away from Rosa the entire time.
I
She's
know
just like,
she's. Oh my.
oh, calm
gosh,
down,
get out of here, Maggie.
Maggie.
Relax.
She's all puffed up.
Maggie, it's okay.
You can't possibly.
Oh, she's really puffed up. Oh my god.
She's puffed,
is.
dude. What did you do to her?
What did you, Rosa? Did you like mess with her outside when you were out there? I don't believe you. That's a defensive posture.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
was wild.
But babe, stand up real quick.
So I think.
Oh yeah. I'm expecting her to do like sideways walk off.
Hilarious.
Maggie, guys, she is freaking out.
So before we close,
Yep.
because we're deep in this. 1:30, dude. It was
Shit.
quick.
Yeah.
This was a good one.
Yes.
Not saying that any of our other ones were bad. Just I like this one a lot.
No, we know what you're saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
To the point of like, because I found myself shifting from the lowest aperture that I can go, shifting from a 2.8 to like that 3.2, 3.5. I find myself doing that more because I don't like as much of a blurry background.
Yeah, it's
There is such a thing as too much.
Is like I showed this lens I think either 2 episodes ago or 1 episode ago. Is the Helios 44.
Yeah.
Where you have this like swirly bokeh, which is intentional with what the lens does.
Yeah.
Not all lenses will do that. So when you do like a 1.8, or I think it goes pretty low. If you have that swirly bokeh, there's an art form to that you don't get with a normal lens because the glass is so different from what that bokeh is. I find myself shifting to that 3.2, 4.5 because I don't want that fake blurry bullshit that iPhone has done, or
yeah.
now that Lightroom has got that feature. You're like, well, shit. Now like everything you can shoot at a f9 and have a blurry background. You're like, what is this build of glass that I have invested in?
And that's the thing. You can go buy a 24-70 by Sony, the PZ, the power zoom.
Yeah.
You can buy that for, I think it's like $1,200, which is half the price of the GM2 right there. So then you want to buy, so if you buy that, the F4, it doesn't matter. You can shoot it at F4, which I hate to admit this. I really, really do. But the 24-70 PZ, F4 is sharper at F4 than the GM2 2.8 at F4.
Yeah.
It's stupid. You can spend half the price, and now you have a 2.8 in post editing. Yeah. So why would you spend the extra $2,000-$3,000 for a 2.8, 1.8, 1.4, 1.2, 0.7 when you can just buy an F4 or even my 100 or 400? I can have that at 2.8. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And instead of paying $3,000 for your guys' at 2.8 300 millimeter. $6,000. I apologize.
Oh geez.
Why? I got my 100 or 400 brand new for $1,500, and now I can get it down to 2.8. Dude, what's up?
I think that's frustrating though because like
I spend so much money on shit I don't need apparently.
And it's like learning the basics.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand what your aperture does.
You don't have to learn the basics now.
Which is like mind-boggling to me because now every freaking person is going to be a photographer.
I mean that's how it is already with like people's phones. You know, like that's the whole thing with like. You know, I think about sometimes when we're doing like, you know, say for example, I'm doing like low light shooting.
I don't want to be that frustrated, but damn.
Low light shooting for like a wedding.
Yeah.
People would be like, oh, my phone does this. I'm like, okay, well, it's like.
I know.
Totally
it has nothing to do with this.
I know. That was there when we got here.
It's from the other podcast.
When I got like comments like, oh, like I'll take a photo with my camera and then somebody will take it with their phone and then they'll upload the phone photo before I can go through and edit.
Yeah.
Like, what was my job as like the photographer?
Well, that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole string of things.
Well, we'll bring you on for the next episode because
I'd be happy to come back. I'd be happy to talk for like 40 minutes straight with no one else interrupting.
Not even 40 minutes straight, dude. We talked for an hour and 35.
I edited 14 pictures, uploaded 3 albums, and talked to 16 clients while you were talking. So we're good. I appreciate it.
Look at this.
I'm glad you did work while we were having conversations at Michael's.
Like, you know what's
everybody book DJ right now. Like, see this workflow.
I was gonna say everybody's gonna look at like they're gonna rewind in the video and they're gonna see me do this like, oh, he really was. I really wasn't. I was looking at the Nikon thing. Okay.
Oh, so you're just lying then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys listen to a liar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, fucking jockey box, center console, glove compartment. Fuck me.
I mean, it's America. You can do whatever you want. So
that's true. America.
So
American for everybody, buddy.
Yeah. Shut up, dude.
Well, if you guys made it this far, that's impressive. I appreciate it. Thank you for that.
Dude, an hour 35. Well, this is almost as long as Chef's episode.
An hour 42, right, for him?
Yeah.
So we appreciate it. If you stayed awake for the entire thing, impressive.
Kudos to you, honestly.
Huge kudos. Next episode, I'm going to talk to Mike about this. Next episode, we're going to talk about, we're going to lean more into the swag that we talked about, the merch. We've actually had a lot of requests for it, so we're going to start working on that too. Your cousin's going to have a lot of work on the, yep.
I know.
Yep.
She has to.
But it's good because now we're going to cut her in on the profits. So profits, whatever. We're going to cut her in on what we make.
I'll see if she
Again,
can
you guys
on.
know we're not doing this for money, obviously.
Yeah, I'll see if she can come on. That way
That'd be cool.
She'll have a
because
reason to be.
I will grill her right there.
I don't know who you are. Perfect wedding moments. Thank you for following me. It's probably because I reposted your post, Mike.
Yeah, just block accounts like that. Like I do it literally every day.
Thank you for whatever.
We are gonna go get a very classy meal at Denny's. So
now you guys have the breakfast for dinner.
Maybe,
dude, that is my favorite.
So Rosa's
shit.
a pescatarian, so we're gonna have to find something on the menu.
Oh, okay.
Which
Pescatarian.
if you guys don't know what that means fish and lawn trimmings. So,
anyways.
It's like a vegetarian with some protein. I love you. You're so pretty. Look at your face. Okay.
She's been roasting you. That's the Filipino in me. We mix
Yeah,
pronouns. This world, Filipinos suck because we always mix pronouns. We are gonna get in trouble.
You can say it. I can't.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is
I
she okay?
pronouns.
Are you guys homies now? We're homies now. Okay, cool. Well, if you guys made it this far, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
I'll tag
Huge
Mike.
thank you to Michael for coming out. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
We'll tag
Make
you
sure
properly.
to follow his Instagram, and then if you can buy his artwork too. I don't know if
Absolutely.
you saw your.
We barely talked about that. So if you want to find me on Instagram, my artwork is also MW.
Wait. How? I need DJ to say your Instagram handle because you had a huge debate on how you say your Instagram handle.
I mean, like, it's totally fair if you get it wrong.
So it's underscore M.
No, you already messed it up. Underscores at the very end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because that was a trend in 2014, and I'm never taking it away. So
I do it at the beginning. So
that's fair
Yeah,
enough.
you do.
you can go ahead. Nope, you look it up.
That's what I asked a second ago.
Okay,
Mike, how do you want to do this?
I don't think he does.
I'll show your Instagram handle on my phone.
Okay.
That way he can just so I don't have to say it.
All right, I'll just be lambasted right here. It's okay.
Okay, everybody be quiet.
I'm about to get canceled for this.
No.
Okay.
You're just gonna look in 3, 2, 1.
Mick Werner.
He did it.
What'd you
He
say?
did it. I say McWarner.
Mick Warner?
Well, I say it how it's written.
It's Werner. It's W-E, not
I know.
W-A.
Yeah, but he got the first two letters
Mick.
correct.
Yeah,
Mick? How do you mess that up?
Because some people say
Oh, it's MC
MC.
Dreidel.
Some people say MC.
MC.
Oh, that's what you expect. MC Werner. Yeah, but his name was Michael.
Doesn't matter.
But my family's Scottish. We're used to mix Irish. All that kind
He
of stuff.
got it immediately.
Yeah.
DJ. Hey, man.
Gotcha,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Filipinos, right?
I said
listen,
it
I'm
right,
not-
you mother.
I don't know say by the words by DJ.
Cancel. No, we are so far into this episode. YouTube ain't gonna do shit. We're good. What?
Yeah.
They're not gonna see this on YouTube for like a year. Okay, so it's fine.
We talked about OnlyFans for the first 10 minutes of the podcast.
Oh yeah. There's no monetization happening for you guys. I mean,
That's
but
true.
you
We're
knew that.
never
so.
being monetized on a freaking single episode of this podcast.
I'll be honest with you. Like any money that
We never do it for the money anyways.
Yeah, no. Any money that we make off of this, I'm just gonna spend on prints that I'm gonna donate to charities around the U.S. anyway. That's what I've been doing for the last year.
And I'll invest it for a video editor.
There you go. Yes, that's actually a great idea. Screw your charities. We're getting a video editor.
Hey, listen. When I have no more edits to do, I mean, I know how to use Premiere.
You have
There you go.
enough edits to do.
Don't remind me.
You, every person that I know, Chef, Alyssa,
Babe.
Taylor, Callie, every freaking person.
It's the hope that I have for like, oh, I can get this done in like a day. And it's like, no.
Hey, I'll see Rose's hand.
Okay, we rambled on.
Hey, come here.
I just wanted to know.
No, come here. Stand like right here.
Stop.
Babe, come here. They don't
You're
believe you're real.
so
They think I'm
mean.
talking to a chair right
This
now.
really is the ramble-sode.
Ramblesode.
Yeah.
No, we had a Ramblesode last week. Hey, do you want to end on the game?
Oh, crap.
Okay, this is a 3-way. This is gonna be hard.
Okay.
The game is it's a word game.
Yep.
We have to say one word.
Yep.
Random. It could be anything, and we have to connect that word somehow
With the next word.
with the next word.
So
Like in a
if
sentence?
you say red and he says cat, you have to find something that's like a red cat close, right? So then you might say like
In between.
ginger, and he would say I don't know whatever.
And if I said ginger, we connected like
Right.
immediately.
And that's it. Does that make sense?
Do you want an
So
example?
like, so
the way I'm thinking about it is it's like you connect a sentence. Is that not what?
No,
it
no,
is?
no,
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 so
no,
like
no.
if you say salami and I say bread, the next word would be sandwich, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, but if you say
Okay,
salami
so-
and I say bread, and then the next word you say,
You said like pizza,
and
then
I say
DJ said,
calzone,
yeah.
Yeah.
then we're both idiots. So that's how it works. I think the quickest we've had one was 5 turns.
It was like 7 or 8.
So yeah, it's not easy.
We suck.
With 3 people, it's gonna be much harder. Okay, and you're gonna be the judge. You're doing great. Okay, so
So
Ready?
think of a random word,
come up with a word.
and then we'll have to connect the 3 words,
Got
which
it.
is gonna be hard because I've never done this with 3 people.
Okay.
So and it'll be on 3. So it'll be
Oh,
1,
crap.
2, 3, and
I'm
then
gonna
you say
have
the
to.
word.
I'm gonna have to memorize your words. Shit.
That's what we have a referee for.
'Kay.
So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and then you say the word.
Okay.
You
'Kay.
got it? Got
Okay,
it?
I got my word.
All right.
Got
Got
my
it?
word.
What if we match all on the first word?
Dude, I will. If we match on the same word, I'm buying all your dinner.
Okay.
Perfect.
Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Light.
Roses.
Brick.
What? Light, roses, and brick.
I said brick.
And what'd you say?
Light.
Roses and light.
Light, roses,
light,
and brick.
I have one. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I have one already.
Light, roses, brick. I have one.
You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
1, 2, 3.
Background.
Patio.
Greenhouse.
Greenhouse background patio.
Yeah.
You guys are closer than I am.
All right. Well, I got the next. I got
Greenhouse.
patio. Patio.
No, patio.
I'm patio. Yeah.
What did you
What
say?
the crap did I say?
Yeah, what did you say? It was back house.
What did he say? You're the.
Oh, I said background.
There you go.
Background.
Okay. All right. You guys.
Yeah,
you
because
got
of
the
the
next one?
background for roses and
Yeah,
everything.
sure,
like
yeah.
we're photographers. Come on. Okay, background. What? Patio, and
Greenhouse.
greenhouse.
I already have mine.
Oh, just pick a new word now.
That's trying to connect it.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
No.
But good luck.
We're still connecting
I'm-
all those 3 words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I'm glad I remember where that button was.
I know.
I'm glad it wasn't
Surprisingly,
applause.
we've never used that in a long
Oh
time.
yeah, it's true.
Sure, I got one.
Cool. All right. Ready?
Yeah, it's just gonna be random.
1, 2, 3.
Leaves.
Restaurant.
What?
Like an Italian restaurant.
Restaurant.
What'd you say?
I said leaves.
I said porch.
Leaves porch restaurant. Leaves porch restaurant.
I got one. I doubt you're gonna say it, but I got one.
Leaves porch restaurant. Leaves porch restaurant. Leaves porch. Okay.
Oh, it's got to be one word, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay. You got it?
Like if you're saying a chain of something.
You got one?
Oh, I got one.
All right, you got one?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
BJ's.
Olive
Olive
Garden.
Garden.
Shit!
Oh, we're so close.
That was my first thought,
Does that
but why
count?
did I change?
Why did you? Oh, because I always want to go to BJ's.
You guys let it go so fast. It was like, could it be one word? Like, yeah. It's like, could it be a chain? Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. Immediately, it's all
He's like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, I got it
The
immediately.
fucking brown
does
guy.
Does that
Of
mean
course
that
it
we
is.
win and he loses?
Sure.
You guys make the game. I don't
Sure,
know.
fine. We can end this episode.
I'm playing in your confinement of rules here, I guess.
The brown guy loses.
You were gonna say Olive
Okay,
Garden.
thank
at the
you for
beginning, right?
coming to this episode.
Anyway,
I was gonna say Olive Garden, I swear, and then I kept thinking patio, and then BJ's came in my mind.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's
That
not
is good,
bad.
right? Well, that's yeah. So Olive Garden sponsors.
I'm frustrated.
I can see the tears in his eyes. If you guys made it this far for the second time, thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to have Michael on and get another episode. We usually do 2, but we're getting this one, and then we're going to do another one because my lovely girlfriend is here. We're going to go have dinner. So thank you for everything. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
we will see you guys again next week.
Thanks for having me.
Adios. Bye.